Welcome to the Plague Hive. Back again today with another PQ prep video, and with that out of the way, let's just jump straight into it. Go over to Talishar, already get that set up. Request undo CC. Alright, same list as the last time. This is the aggro contract version. Another Bravo here. Okay, so if we have the choice, we're going first against Bravo. Maybe this is a different one from last time. I'm still running Spider Sprite Graven Call. The rest of the equipment can stay the same. And we are still fat decking this. Just run every single card. Say hello here, and then let's go. So list is essentially the same. The only thing I've changed is I have added a copy of Amnesia and took out a copy of Already Dead, just to try it out. Just in a lot of matchups they're kind of the same. So okay, so here we can do a bunch of things. We start with the Graven Call. We want to pitch away the Nimble Strike because that's just doesn't do anything right now. So we attack him with that. Okay, he gives us a card here. Nice. Then we follow that up with the Spider's Bite. Okay, that's another card. Out of the way. So we got 2 cards down, which means we're already ahead in like the fatigue game. And I think I don't want to send anything here. We could get another 2 cards out of him if we send a Leave No here probably, because he would full block this, and then we could Arsenal the Annihilate, which is like not the worst. But I'd rather have the Leave No in Arsenal, so I think we're just gonna do that. And Arsenal, Leave No Witnesses. Okay, sure, that works. Bunch of things I can do with this. He's just gonna go Dominate. Tech Plating, okay, it's probably just Hammer for 6. Okay, now it's a Spinal Crush, okay. So he's gonna come in with a Dominated Spinal. That's a bit annoying, but honestly not the worst. He won't have an Arsenal here. So I think what we can do is we just... that's a little bit tricky, honestly. So we can block this for 7 with the Oasis Respite, but then our hand kind of doesn't do anything. I guess we throw out the Leave No, and then Arsenal something else, maybe the Annihilate, because getting that silver is kind of important in this matchup. So yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do. Yeah. All right, sure. I am going to block. Yeah, I think I'd rather have the Annihilate over the Enlightened Strike in Arsenal here, so I'm gonna block with the E-Strike. Because I'm not threatening him, he can keep a 4-card hand if he wants to, so I'm just gonna block like this. Actually, I could block with the Nimblism here. That would also be interesting. But it should be fine, honestly. Oh, actually, what I could do is I go Nimblism into Leave No Witnesses, just to have a little bit more of a threat. Yeah, like that. Let's go for that. And a Spinal, pitch away the Annihilate, and then we should be okay. We take 2. We don't get crushed. He doesn't have an Arsenal. And then we just go Nimblism into Leave No. Okay, snap blocking 6. Might give us a piece of equipment here too, just to prevent the banish. Let's see. So if I had mask up, like if I had already blocked with this, I wouldn't crack it here. Just because the density of blues in a typical Bravo deck is so high that actually hitting 2 reds off the top with the banish from Leave No Witnesses is not that guaranteed. If he did have an arsenal and it would connect, it's a different thing, because then you can, like, between the arsenal and then 2 hits from the top, the chance of you actually hitting 2 6s is pretty high. 2 reds, I mean, is actually pretty high. So let's see what we grab. Okay, it's an E-strike, perfect. We got 1 silver already down, very nice. Okay, he just plays a sigil. And then he does what? Swing hammer for 4. Okay, so this play is like not great. If you're in that position, right, what you want to do is like you swing the hammer and then you arsenal the sigil. Sigil in arsenal is so much better than sigil anywhere else, honestly. So I think what we're gonna do here is we're just gonna take 4, and then we go tunic, looking for a scrap. Actually, we can't do that. We have to block. So I guess we block with the backstab, we send a looking for a scrap, and then we go E-strike, draw a card just to get an arsenal. I would ideally like to arsenal the death touch here, obviously. But I think it's fine to send the death touch to the bottom as well, just because we have... Death Touch is a great card in a late game, right? If you need to finish somebody off. So I think this is also fine. And then we just go tunic. Looking for a scrap. 5 go again. Never a bad thing to do. So he's playing sigils, which already tells me he might be a bit more defensive than the aura setup Bravo we had the other day. Let's see if that actually remains true, or if he does play a little more aggressive. One issue I have is that so far we haven't really seen any D-reacts, and that is kind of problematic. So yeah, I think I'm gonna go with the Arsenal, because like this deck doesn't really have anything that's bad in Arsenal in this specifically in this matchup. Yeah, Codex of Bloodrot, sure, that's decent. Deals some damage, replaces our Arsenal the next turn, and if he continues playing without an Arsenal, this is a way to make sure that if we draw a CNC or something, it's live and we can actually do something with it. So this was just like a nice little 3-card 10 with an arsenal. He blocks with a Terra Sunder, that's great. That's one of the cards that I hate to see the most in the late game. So I definitely don't mind having that out of the way. Okay, it's an E-strike for 7, set up an arsenal. For 5 go again, I guess he wanted to go for a different line here. Yeah, E-strike for 7, that makes a lot more sense. So I'd love to have an inertia trap here, of course. Let's see, I think what we can do... Can we convert this entire hand? That's kind of the question. Obviously I want to empty the hand, right? So that I can draw off the ponder and then have that be live. So I think I am going to... maybe block with the isolate, because we need another blue in case we draw another looking for a scrap, because we're on 3. And I would like to preserve Cut to the Chase, but I don't think I can. So I think this is just... I mean, I could, but it's not worth taking 3 damage in this instance, I think. I could just play out the Amnesia. If I go like block with Isolate, and then I can go Spider's Bite into Amnesia. but I don't think that's worth taking 3 damage for. So I think we're blocking here like this. Give him 2 cards, it's fine. And then we just throw out the Amnesia just naked like that. Okay, is he still here? Let's see. Okay. Alright, 1 damage. Very nice. He does get an arsenal here, so there's a potential for some big dominated threat next turn. We arsenal the Amnesia here, and then we just throw that out, and we're good to go. Obviously, this does nothing into Bravo, right? Like, that hit effect is completely irrelevant against Bravo. I don't think there's a single card in the entire deck that cares about names, so this is just like a vanilla 6. It's basically like throwing Anothos, right? 2 card 6. That's basically what this does. It just costs me a card instead of, you know, putting everything back in the deck, but same amount of damage. So if he does keep a 5 card hand here, and we don't ponder into a D-React, that has the potential to be pretty scary if he has like a Crippling Crush. He's probably just thinking, but let's see. I don't know if the chat actually works right now. It might be bugged. Okay, so he's really tanking on this block. That tells me he probably does have some sort of disruptive play. Okay, he's blocking with the gauntlets here. That's kind of interesting. Because gauntlets this is like one of the few matchups where this card is actually like relevant and it actually has impactful text, right? So maybe he has a sink and he's just looking to clean block this. He does have a sink. I don't really get this block, to be honest, because like I said, the Amnesia just doesn't really do anything in this matchup, I think. But maybe he runs some kind of interaction that makes it relevant. It's possible. Okay, so it's just a naked Crippling Crush. Okay, I mean, it's fair, like he had a red, so he couldn't have played that with the effect live anyways. Okay, let's see. Like, ideally, I would want to get the Fate Foreseen in Arsenal here. But I don't think I can. I could preserve it for the late game, though. So I need to block with, like... I need to block for at least 8, right? So that would be Plunder, Shakedown, looking for a scrap. Not great. Or I just go... I could block for 10. And then just send the Annihilate off and bottom the looking for a scrap. Because like looking for a scrap in a late game is actually very powerful. So yeah, I think I'm going to do that. Or I do the responsible. I mean, I can't keep the... I can't do both, right? I have to send something. Yeah, I think I'd rather have the Fate Foreseen in Arsenal in case he decides to dominate something big. Yeah. Actually, no. No, let's do it like that. Let's block with the Fate Foreseen here, because I can't keep it anyways. And it's nice to have the Fate in the late game. Yeah, I'm not hating the Nimblism here. That's not so bad. Because he doesn't have an Arsenal right now, so the chance of him actually, like, sending a big dominated threat isn't that big. So it's kind of okay. And I'm fine with not using the mask on this Annihilate, because it's most likely not going to connect. So this is just, you know, I don't have anything to push it over the top. So this is really just kind of threatening him, because he knows I have Graven Call and I already have 1 silver, so he can't really let this hit, because the chance of it getting me another silver is actually pretty high. And then once I have 2, I have Graven Call online, which is a lot more threatening for him. So he kind of has to block this, I think. He has to respect it. So I would not be surprised to see like either 2-card block and then he just swings in with Anathos, or he does like give me a bunch of equipment. Okay, he's giving me a whole bunch of equipment and the Civic Steps. Okay, that's kind of interesting. All right, sure. Go for it. I guess that means he does have another big dominated threat coming up. Maybe he drew into the next crippling. We should be fine because we have like the Fate Foreseen. If it's a crippling, we're kind of fucked, to be honest. That might be an issue. Okay, can't pass here. I don't know what's going on. Let's reload real quick. Okay. Ah, here we go. Okay, so he did find another crippling. Okay. Yeah, okay, this is kind of annoying. I mean, it's not so bad because we're at like 35, right? Could be worse. So I think what we do is any of these are decent in Arsenal. And no matter what I do, I can't block this unless I give my entire equipment, which is obviously not worth it. So, and no matter what he hits, I can't play anything on my next turn. So I think what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna block with the Fate Foreseen, just to preserve as much life as possible. And then I need to discard 2, and whatever he hits, whatever I have left is decent to have in Arsenal. Not hating the Infect here, so I'll leave that on the top, I think. Because I need a blue in case it's Shakedown, and if it's the Nimblism, I can go Nimblism, you know, into whatever. Dagger maybe? Yeah, I'll leave that on top. Seems fine. Okay, sure. Okay, Death Touch, that's pretty much like the optimal outcome here. So it means I get to keep the Quicken, and then I can do some pretty nasty things on my next turn. Oh yeah, okay, that is disgusting. Like, if he doesn't have another dominated crippling here, and I get to keep 2 cards, 2 cards would be fine, honestly. If I can keep 2 here, I can do a whole bunch of pretty disgusting things. Okay, so he's playing Imposing Visage for x equals 3, so he's probably gonna grab a Showtime, I guess. Yep, and then he's gonna grab the last Crippling and Arsenal that. I would imagine. And the fact that I have a Quicken here, yep, there's the Crippling, alright. And then he's sending Hammer for 6, okay, that's also not so bad. So I think I am going to block. How do I block this? I kind of need to threaten the Arsenal here. So one thing I can do is I can keep a blue. I don't like that I have to block with all of these shakedowns here. That's kind of annoying, but to be honest, it's not the worst either. And he doesn't really have any armor left. So that's kind of good. So I can start off with Death Touch and then dagger into Leave No Witnesses and keep up the Concealed Blade. I think I like that plan. Yeah, okay, sure. I'm blocking with Shakedown. It kind of hurts. It's not the best here, but I think having the reaction of Concealed Blade in this spot is kind of better. Yep. Okay, sure. All right, so we're starting off with a Death Touch. So if he actually lets this hit, there's actually a consideration to pick Frailty. Just because it makes the Crippling Crush a little bit easier to block. Okay, he's giving equipment here. And a Crown of Providence. Okay, lovely. The fact that he gives the crown here is huge. And honestly, I think a bit of a misplay on his end, but, you know, it is what it is. Okay, sure. I mean, I could cash in the Concealed Blade here. But I don't think it's worth it. I'd rather keep that for the Leave No Witnesses. Spider's Bite. And he didn't cycle a card with the crown either. Okay, that hits. There we go. And now, unless he has something like a Showtime or Imposing Visage, he's in a bit of trouble. And he would have to give me Civic Steps to like one card block this. Thunderquake, Cranial Crush, perfect. So now what we do is we flick Graven Call. What? Wait, why did that resolve? Hang on. That should not happen. Okay, nice. He's a good guy. Okay, so we flick. Honestly, sometimes Talishar timing is weird. But okay. Alright. And then I guess we grab the Nerve Scalpel here. We do banish this, so we have 2 silver now. We have Graven Call active whenever we want to, basically. And our next hand does not a whole lot, to be honest. But it's okay. So he's coming in with the hammer for 6. I I mean, I guess we can block with the Nimblism. It's not really great value, but yeah, I think that's kind of what we have to do. Because I want to set up the sink below in Arsenal. And I'll just throw out the shred here. So I think... or I keep up the shred. And I just don't block. Taking 6 puts me at 19. That's a bit low, but blocking with the Nimblism also isn't really worth it. I could go like Tunic, pitch Nimblism to Surgical, keep up the shred, because he is gonna block this. Yeah, I think I'm down to take 6 here. Maybe it's a mistake. Let's see how it works out. So we already took all of his cripplings, right? 2 are here, 1's in the bin. So we're good on the cripplings. We know he plays D-reacts, so the Nerf Scalpel is gonna be relevant at some point. I could have blocked with Mask here to get the double hit on the Surgical. That was definitely a misplay. Hang on, I forgot to Tunic. Yep, that works. And now we just pitch the Nimblism. There we go. Okay. And then we can set up the sink below in Arsenal for, you know, whatever dominated attack he'll send at us next. He does block with the Macho here. And ooh, he's giving us another quicken. I love that. Nope, he's not doing that. Okay, he is blocking with the Civic Steps, sure. I am still shredding this. The Civic Steps are gone anyway, so I don't need to shred those. I can just choose the Macho here. And he might have a sink. He does not have a sink. Okay, nice. That's actually huge. Okay, he plays the Sigil. Makes sense. I am taking Terra Sunder here, 100%. So that's 4 silver now. Arsenal this. And we're good to go. Okay. Probably just hammer for 4 from him. Yep. Let's see. What does this hand do? Not a whole lot. Honestly. Not a whole lot. I could block with the sink. Cycle out the Oasis, because that doesn't work for me right now, and it's gonna be a couple of times. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that, and then I can set up the Inertia Trap in Arsenal, just so I have some sort of impactful thing. We sink this. Looking for a scrap. Okay, that makes this hand a lot better. Yep, that works. Okay, so we just go looking for a scrap, spy the spite, plunder the poor. Pretty decent. Obviously don't take the Graven Call here. Actually, I think I'm down to, let's see, I've only seen Sync from him so far. 1 sink below. He does have to have more D-reacts. I don't think I'm letting go of the Nerf Scalpel just yet. Yeah, no, I'm good. Actually, I think we're attacking with Nerf Scalpel here, because if he fully blocks the Plunder, it's a 2-card block anyways. And with Nerf Scalpel, if he has a sink, he can make that a 1-card block. And with Nerf Scalpel, now it's not. So if he lets that through. And now we send a plunder. Obviously, like, silver-wise, this does nothing against him. Okay, it's an unmovable. Okay, there's one more D-React gone. I don't hate that. Arsenal that. Good to go. Okay, so he starts with the Rouse the Ancients. Okay, so that's probably a Rouse into a Hammer Swing for 6. So I don't think we use the Inertia Trap here. I think we use it on the Hammer Swing that's gonna come in. And then let's see what else we do. We can reset our arsenal here. And we have another plunder. So we can block for 6 on this with these two. And then when he swings the hammer, we block with the Inertia Trap. And then we can just go Codex of Bloodrot into Plunder the Poor. Yep, I'm fine with that. Okay, tech plating, interesting. And hammer for 6. Okay, so he plays around the Inertia Trap, interesting. I mean, I still have to use it, so I don't waste the Ponder. Plus, I don't want to eat 6 here, so we're still gonna do that. We have also not seen a single Codex of Frailty. That's kind of interesting. Okay, so now he has to arsenal a card, which is like, in this case, kind of irrelevant because we don't have any arsenal threat here. But he doesn't know that. We still have 1 Leave No Witnesses left in the deck. And I don't think we've shown that to him. Because if I remember correctly, we sunk that with some kind of effect, so. Okay, and then it's Plunder the Poor. There we go. Okay, he's blocking that for 3. Okay, blocking for 6. Love to see that. 2 cards out of his deck. Very nice. Okay, another Inertia Trap. Lovely. And we have a CNC here and a Spreading Plague. Very good. Very nice. Okay, it's Debilitate for 6. And he's still not arsenaling anything. Okay, this guy just really doesn't like arsenaling cards, I guess. Okay, let's see. I mean, we don't have a CNC in the graveyard yet, so we want to throw that in there anyways, just so our inevitable Codex of Frailty has a decent target. So I think I'm down to block... yeah, I'm down to block with this Backstab and then pitch the Shred. Yeah, I think that works. Okay, yeah, I'm down to block 3 here. Do I want to go to 12 or do I block with the Shred and then bottom the Spreading Plague? That's also not the worst plan, honestly. Because we have a couple more Shreds. We have 1 more yellow Shred in the deck. And Spreading Plague in the late game is really, really good, so... But I could also just go pitch this and then play it, because he's probably gonna block for 6. He seems like the blocking kind of guy. Yeah, I think I'm down with this play. I think this is fine. Yeah, I think this is okay. He seems like the block 6 on a CNC kind of dude. And then we can go Tunic, Spreading Plague. And I mean, if he takes 6 here, okay. We're now at equal life, and I have 4 silver, so... Actually, the fact that I have only seen 2 D-reacts out of him might mean he doesn't have D-reacts here. He has a couple of D-reacts here. I've only seen 1 blue unmovable. Okay, he blocks with 2 cards. He gives me the pummel. Nice. I'm still cashing in the spreading here. Just for 2 blood rots. It's worth it. So obviously the hit effect doesn't do anything. And double Codex of Frailty. A classic. A classic. One for the ages. Okay. I guess he's just pitching to Bloodrot. Maybe. What is he doing? Okay, he's pitching to Bloodrot, yeah. Okay, so he arsenaled 1 card, took 2 from the Bloodrot. Okay, sure. That does work. So we can't really use any of these Codex of Frailty. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to attack with Spider's Bite. Then I'm going to flick a Nerve Scalpel. Re-equip Graven Call, attack with Graven Call, and then play the Annihilate off the Sigil. That's kind of like probably the worst sequence you can go for. Actually, that's a really bad sequence, yeah. Let's not lead with Spider's Bite, that makes no sense, but then I'd have to flick the Bite, which is also bad. Yeah, okay, let's do it a different way. Let's just go like this. We pitch the Codex of Frailty. And then we just attack with Annihilate the Armed, and we play the Sigil. Or maybe we keep the Codex. Because if he's keeping a big hand and he's throwing something dominated at us, Codex is going to allow us to do like a 2-card clapback or something. Yeah, sure, undo, it's fine. Okay, Codex of Frailty, there we go. Because I don't want 2 Codexes back to back at the bottom of my deck. That doesn't really do anything. Unless I manage to draw it so that I ponder into the second one. That's a little bit unlikely. Okay, he's blocking that. Nice. Love to see that. Probably scared of like a CNC or something coming. So we go Annihilate, pitch the Sigil. Also not a bad card to have on the bottom of your deck. He is just letting that through. Alright. Ah, he does have the sink. Okay, I think this is where I throw the Nerve Scalpel just to get maximum value off of it. Because I want to start attacking with that Graven Call. So there's more impactful ways to use it, I think. But I think this is what I want to do just so I can get Graven Call online. And then start attacking with it. Because this way we get like 1 extra value off of the flick. So that's pretty decent. Okay, sure, he has an unmovable here. Okay, I mean, I'm not hating that. That's okay. That's genuinely fine with me. And there's a second Kaisei. Like this is starting to get a little bit ridiculous. He is just arsenaling a card, and I have nothing I can do here. I mean, except for, you know, this, obviously, so... That's why it's great to have Graven Call here, right? Because I can just keep doing this. I think I still want to keep up the Codex here. Yeah. But I also kind of like having this Fate Foreseen because I'm giving him a large hand right now, and that's kind of scary, to be honest. So I think I'm just gonna cash in the Sigil and then call it a day, even though that is a really, really bad hand. But I need to keep this last Codex so I have any chance of, like, you know, a pushback here. And then just hope he actually attacks me. There we go. Thank you. Very nice. Okay, Dominated Starstruck. Yeah, we can easily cover this. Even just with the Inertia Trap and the Fate Foreseen. Yeah, that's fine. And then we have this coming up. We have the blue. So we can actually Codex and grab a CNC. Only problem is the E-Strike. That's actually kind of annoying right now, but, you know, it's okay. Actually, I can just overpitch. Yeah, that works. Yeah, that does work. Okay, sure. I think I'm still not cashing in my equipment here, just because I don't really have to. So, yeah, this is 3, this is 7, so I don't get crushed. He can't pummel this. And he does have an arsenal, so he can't get back a Crippling Crush from my Codex. That's actually perfect. Yep, that works. And then we get a Shred, which I don't actually mind in Arsenal right now, because I know I'm not going to have any Codices coming up for a couple of turns. And he's like the block-heavy kind of guy, so... Yep. Yeah, that works. Sure. Take 3, go down to 12. That's fine. So I'll just go Spider's Bite, overpitching this stuff. And then we go Codex. We grab, where did it go? CNC. And then we just throw that out. Lovely. Yep. Okay, he's just blocking 4. Oof. And the Choke Slam goes. Okay. Nice. I like that. Put that on the bottom, arsenal that. Double CNC and a sink below and an isolate. Okay. Very nice. Alright. So I think what I'll do is I want to set up the sink in arsenal if I can here. So I think I'll go Tunic. Yeah, I'll just go Spider's Bite. Doesn't do anything because if he has a D-React, it's the same thing. So I'm just gonna go with Graven Call here. Pitch that away. Just keep sending this uncomfortable 2 damage at him. Okay, blocks that with an E-strike, makes sense. And we throw out the isolate. Now, I would not be surprised if he has a D-react in Arsenal right now, because we've still only seen like 2 Sings and 2 blue unmovables from him. Okay, he's just passing. I guess that's the correct play, so we just choose the CNC. He does have the Fate Foreseen. Okay, we're gonna let that resolve. Quite nice, honestly. Okay, he might have another one. But we have to shred now, in case he doesn't. He might also play this just like as an insulation against like a Leave No Witnesses or a Surgical Extraction. Actually, that's the first Fate we've seen from him. So he's running both Fates and Sings and blue unmovables, and he just hasn't seen any of those like early. So he probably has another D-react in the arsenal here. But I am honestly fine with that. He does not. Okay. Or maybe he waited for it, and now he's like... Ah, he did. Ooh, okay, that hurts. That hurts. He could have played that. I guess he was just gambling on this being something like a shakedown. Because now, if I deal 1 more damage to him, he's dead. Because I have 2 daggers and I have 2 silver up for Graven Call. If I deal 1 more damage, he's just dead. Yep. So I think the best play here is to actually just go dagger. Because that is like really uncomfortable for him right now. Okay, he's not blocking the spider's bite. Yeah, I'm flicking... Am I flicking the Graven Call? I think I'm flicking the Graven Call, yep. Sure, immediately rebuy that. Then I will attack with the Graven Call, pitching the Sink below. He has to block this, obviously. Blocking that for 6, that makes sense. Cashing in on the value from Starstruck, that's fine. Oof, okay, this hand is like probably just lethal. Anothos for 4. Yeah, I can block that with the already dead. Actually, I don't... Nah, I'm just not blocking that. I'm just taking 4 because I can dagger. And he has to block the dagger, so... Yep. Just sending the spider's bite. Okay, sure. I forgot to flick. I could have flicked on the spider's bite chain link. I just forgot it, so kind of doesn't matter, honestly. Yep. Okay, GG. Pretty solid. So yeah, I think going with Gravencall is definitely a good idea in this matchup. Um, there was I don't think there was a single point where the nerf scalpel would have been impactful, but that was definitely down to him like not drawing any D-reacts for like the first half of the game. That definitely helped me out a bunch, and I think if this had been like a redline list with 9 isolates, this game would have been pretty brutal. It still kind of was, to be honest, but yeah. So yeah, interesting game. I didn't spot any obvious misplays on my part. Let me know if you figured out any lines that would have been even better. I think I mentioned a couple ones where I could have done like slightly more optimal plays. If you spot any lines that would have been like glaringly better in the specific spot, just let me know in the comments down below. And yeah, that's it for today. As always, see you in the next one.